Major ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court today that sets the stage for all 50 states to legalize sports gambling. So grab your phones, open the WFAA app, and click the Vote Now tile because we want to know, do you think Texas should play along? As you vote, our David Goins joins us live outside our Victory Park studios where the Dallas Mavericks and the Stars play. So David, that's the big question. Could this happen here? Yeah, that is the big question, Izzy. Mavs owner Mark Cuban actually said this morning that he expects all pro sports franchises to perhaps double in value after this Supreme Court ruling. But in Texas, the short answer is nothing's going to change. And just because all 50 states now have the green light from the Supreme Court to chart their own sports gambling path, doesn't mean Texas will be first in line to try and cash in. If you want to place a legal sports bet, your best bet has always been Las Vegas. But with Monday's Supreme Court decision, 49 other states can join Nevada in the lucrative legal sports betting scene. So what about us?
I know that Texans love sports and like to gamble.
But the Texas legislature doesn't love to expand gambling beyond the lottery. House Rep Carol Alvarado, a Democrat from Houston, says she'll push a resolution next year in Austin to allow Texas voters to decide how much gambling we want. A similar effort failed last year.
I hope that we can find some common ground on it and move forward.
The American Sports Betting Coalition says regulated sports gambling would be a nearly $2 billion a year industry in Texas. Richard Alm at the SMU Cox School of Business says with increased gambling comes concerns on the integrity of pro sports games.
This wall between legalized gambling and the sports leagues is already starting to crumble.
The NHL already has a team in Vegas. The NFL will bring the Raiders there soon. Still, former Cowboys legend Darren Woodson said Monday he doesn't expect increased opportunity to bet on sports to negatively impact the game or its players.
And officials will be out there to inform the players you cannot gamble on games, and it's about the integrity of the game.
So the game won't change, but how fans choose to participate and bet certainly will, even if Texas doesn't jump in right away. All right, Attorney General Ken Paxton's office said we are pleased the Supreme Court recognized the unlawful manner in which this federal law that was enacted in 1992 prevented the states from setting their own policy. So now that Texas can set its own sports gambling policy, the question still remains and is unanswered is when. Live in Dallas, David Goins, Channel 8 News.